Dividing whole numbers by unit fractions, item 4622. Lewis jogged 4 miles in half an hour. His friend asked him what his speed was in miles per hour. He divided to find his speed, but he made a mistake. 3 of these reasons explain why his answer must be wrong, which does not. This one's really tricky. There's a lot going on here. I hope I can help with it. First, why is Lewis even dividing to find his speed in the first place? I think that's important to understand. Let's look at a simpler problem. Let's say he walked 12 miles and it took him 3 hours. I've put that information into a ratio table here. To use a ratio table, we have to do a mathematical operation to these two numbers right here to change one into the other, and we have to do the same thing to this number in order to get a ratio. So how do you change 3 hours into 1 hour? To do that, you'd have to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So that would mean we'd have to divide by 3 on the bottom. Also, 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So in this case, he would go 4 miles in 1 hour, or 4 miles per hour. See, to find the speed of something, you're always going to divide the distance that it went by the time that it took, and that gives you the rate or the speed. You can see what we did is we did 12 divided by 3 is 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4 miles divided by hours. So in the real problem, we're going to do the same thing. Miles divided by hours. 4 divided by 1/2. Now, if he got it wrong, okay, fine. He said it was 2. What is the actual answer? Well, remember when you're dividing fractions, you have to do 4 divided by 1/2. You can think, how many halves in 4? Well, there's 2 halves in 1. 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 halves in 4 wholes. So the real answer here is 8. I think we're ready to start looking at why some of these answers explain his reasons for being wrong and one doesn't. All right. There are more than 2 halves in 4 wholes. There are more than 2 halves in 4 wholes. There are 8 halves in 4 wholes. So this explains why he is wrong. So we won't choose it. 2 times 1/2 does not equal 4. This one's really confusing. What they're getting at is you can check a division problem with multiplication to see if you are right. For example, 6 divided by 3 is 2. You can check it by thinking, well, what's 2 times 3? It's 6. Same thing here. 4 divided by 1/2 is 8. Well, what is 8 times 1/2? It's 4. This is correct. What is 2 times 1/2? It's 1, not 4. So this does explain why Lewis is wrong, so we will not choose it. If his speed was 2 miles every hour, he could not jog 4 miles in just a half an hour. Yeah, it takes him an hour to go 2 miles. How's he going to go 4 miles in a half an hour then? He's not that fast. So this one does explain why his answer must be wrong. So we won't choose it. The answer cannot be a whole number. He said it was 2, a whole number. Can the answer be a whole number? Well, we're saying it's 8. 8 is a whole number. So this doesn't explain why Lewis was wrong. We will choose it. That's the answer. That one's really tricky. I don't like that problem at all. I think it was very complicated, and I hope you don't see any more like it, but you might, so I hope this video helped.